Hey, all you little dummies out there. This is the head big cold blooded dummy coming at you with an update on the Moto Guzzi. So, today we're going to reveal the new Euro taillight installed. So, in the last video, I showed you guys the tail light, how it would look and everything. And even though we haven't received the LED blinkers yet, I decided to go ahead and just install the housing because I got tired of looking at it like half finished. So it only took me about an hour, and last night I farted around with installing this. So when the blinkers come, it won't be that big of a deal to take it apart again and install everything. Now the V7, it's a little bit more involved, taking off the rear fender underneath the fender and everything. So I'm just gonna wait till I get the blinkers and everything, and then do that just one time. But there you go. That's what she's gonna look like. So already 100% difference. Let me get down here and get a good eyeball on this some bitch. So if you look at any YouTube videos from this 2021, 2022 Moto Guzzi, the V9s and the V7s from Europe, you'll see that they all come with this sleeker taillight housing design, and they also come with the sleeker LED blinkers, front and rear. So I don't know why the North American market got those cheapy, cheesy, the big monstrosity. That's ugly. But we're changing it. So as far as I know, I'm the only one in the United States that's attempted to do this conversion, because I've contacted several Moto Guzzi suppliers here in the United States. We can't get those parts. So all I had to do was go online and found several companies, one of them in the UK, that sell replacement parts, and they have the exploded view parts list, and you just make sure that you choose the European spec, because there's the Asia Pacific spec, and then there's the Euro Africa spec, and you just make sure you find the right diagram, and then you zoom it in and you can find the part number, and then you just order that through the company in UK. There's also another company in the Netherlands that sell these replacement parts, and that's how I tracked down all the correct parts. The only problem is you have to pay air freight, which isn't too bad. Usually it's about $40, and the parts themselves are really relatively pretty cheap. Although they do, they sell the parts in euros, and then it just converts it over to US dollars when you go to the checkout. But for the entire upper, lower, and the adapting mounting bracket, it's like $60 US, and then you're going to pay your overseas air freight. The blinkers I ordered from a company here in the United States, in Texas. They are $40 each, and so there's 4 on each bike, so that's basically 8. So that's a little bit pricey. You know, that's kind of expensive, but you know, when you're dealing with 2 bikes, you know, the price goes up a little bit higher. But I haven't totaled everything so far, but you know, to me it's going to be worth it to have the modern look of the LEDs and everything. So both of these bikes are pretty much done with all their mods. Once I get the blinkers and the taillights, we've got Augustinis on both bikes, and we've got the bar end mirrors on both bikes. We've got the air intake delete with the free flow air filters. Both bikes have the adjustable levers here, the CNC levers. I got the exact same ones for both, and both of the bikes have this fly screen. It's handmade from a little company in Italy. Oh, the one other thing I'm going to do on the bobber is I'm going to put fork gaiters on there. I have the parts, but I just need to I need to find a way to jack up the bike and get the front end off the ground so I can take the wheel off. It doesn't look easy to be able to jack this thing up because the exhaust is in the way, and so I'm gonna have to research. I have a couple ideas on what I want to do to try to make it so that I can jack this bike up. Underneath here on the motor, there's some mounting holes. Let me see if I can find them. There they are right there. There's some threaded mounting holes, 4 of them. It looks like they're on all 4 corners of the oil pan. I'm wondering if I can make an adapter plate that would have 4 holes that line up with those threaded holes. And then because if you notice here, I don't want to jack directly onto those fins, because I don't know if those fins will crack, because that's going to basically take the whole weight of this bike, you know, almost 500 pounds. So I'm thinking of making some little standoffs using 4 bolts with a mounting plate, and some washers to space it down far enough so that I can get a floor jack underneath there and jack up jack up the whole bike using the engine as a lifting point, and it would spread the load using these 4 bolt holes. So that's my idea. I might even use like a block of oak wood, so real hard, dense wood, and I can mill it down a little bit. I can make it, you know, maybe about 1.5 inches thick so it's sturdy. Make it flat. I do have a wood planer, so I can make a custom piece of wood that would have some holes that line up. So that's my idea there. Then I could use. I have a little motorcycle scissor, a tiny little scissor lift, with this rubber pad on top. That would be a great tool to jack up the bike. So, and then the V7 Stone, I've already done the valve adjustment and the oil change. But the bobber, I just got to 1,000 miles on the bobber, so it needs an oil change and it needs a valve adjustment. But the valve adjustment on these bikes, especially the bobber, super simple. You just pop the valve covers off, and there's nothing in the way. If you see right here, boom, 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 nothing in the way. The V7 was a little bit more tricky because the tank sticks out, and you had to kind of get your fingers in here, and the valve cover, was a little bit tricky to get the spark plug wire out, but it came out. It wasn't that bad. You don't have to take the tank off or nothing. And all you do is you put it in 6th gear, and then you just roll the sumbitch forward, and it turns the crank over, and then you put it like a straw or something down inside where the spark plug goes, and you wait for the piston to come up. You put your thumb over the spark plug gap hole, and then as it, because you want the compression stroke, so you put your thumb over the hole and you roll the bike forward slowly, and then you'll feel the air pressure blowing against your thumb. That's when you know you're on the compression stroke. And then you just put your straw in there, and then you wait for that to come up. You can also use I think I actually used a wooden skewer, like a little bamboo skewer for barbecuing. And you just roll it forward, wait for that to come up, and just as it comes up and then it starts to go back down, then you're at top dead center. And then you can adjust that cylinder. Super simple. Okay, so that does it for this episode. This is the head big cold-blooded dummy signing out. Later, Gators.